All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this shifter off, the shift knob, and I'm going to measure how long it takes to get from first to second gear. Go ahead and put that in first. Let's start this off right here towards the end. Try to hold this steady as possible. Now we're going to go down to second. A little tough there. Looks like about 4 inches exact. Let's see, third to fourth. Exactly 4 inches. Since the car's not on, it's a little tough. So from fifth to sixth, roughly about 4 inch throw. So we'll see how it is with the MGW shifter once I get that put in there. So I'm going to take this dash apart, this whole center console. All right, here we go. MGW T56 F body, and did not come with this shift knob. That's my old shift knob that came originally with the car. This thing's got a very sturdy metal base, so they already got it all greased up, and it comes with the necessary hardware. It came with an Allen key, so you can tighten those keys right there for that shaft. And then you got the black RTV sealant, which you're going to be putting around on top of the transmission mount area for this to sit right on top of, so you're gonna have to scrape out the old stuff. All right, so inside the console you're gonna need 2 different size sockets, 10 for these and then 7 right there. So go ahead and pull those out, and then there's gonna be 2 10mm bolts that's gonna hold in the front sides there. Right, what I'm gonna do here, going to lift up, just pull on that, and then exposes the area where the shifter sits, but we're not done yet. Go ahead and pull out that cigarette lighter, throw it in there, and there's a couple things. You're going to unclip this light down here, which sometimes is not exactly easy to do. Just reach underneath, kind of push up, and then pull it back down into the console. And be careful when you lift up. Make sure this is up as high as it can go. And you're just going to lift up the console here. And of course, be very careful. That's not break anything. Actually have the center console open, and then that lifts right out. Now be very careful, because you're going to have your harness here for the cigarette lighter, and you're just going to have to push that in. All right, so down here in the center, after you get that top piece removed, there's going to be another 10mm bolt. So be sure to remove that. Okay, so now we're going to remove this centerpiece. So like I said, have that handbrake up, and you're going to lift up this whole thing here. Kind of pull it out towards you. And while you do this, just be mindful that there is another plug down in here, which is for the auxiliary, which is almost the same as removing that cigarette lighter. All right, to remove the boot itself, you're going to use, again, 7mm. So far, it's going to be 7mm and 10mm bolts that you will be removing. So just use those size sockets. Better if you got one of these tools. Makes light work of everything. Makes everything great. So just go around until you remove all the bolts out of there. Once you get inside, you're going to have these bolts here. Let me see what size that was. Looks like maybe, yes, it's going to be a size 13. So you're going to use a size 13 socket to get out the 4 bolts that hold down that shifter. All right, last bolt. Woohoo! Thing's got some serious torque. A lot of gunk going to be up in there from the RTV sealant from the last time that I had to reinstall this after changing out the clutch. So there we go. That popped out no problem. So what you're going to want to do, I'm going to clean this up because I'm going to store it and keep it. I try to keep all the original parts of my car. So I'm going to get a razor blade. I'm going to clean all this up. Probably get a little brake parts cleaner on a paper towel and wipe it down as well after the fact. Right, so I got this all cleaned up. And it comes with everything that you need. So it's got that RTV silicone sealant. So I'm going to spread a nice bead around here. And I cut the top off a little bit. It'll take a while to feed it through. I just had to cut a hole in this. So it's fresh. You're going to spread a nice even amount all around. I took a razor blade. I scraped off the old stuff. And I took brake parts cleaner. Gave it a good rub down. And try not to get any of the old silicone into the little bay here itself, because fluid does run into the transmission. You don't want that going in the transmission and gunking anything up. I got that sealant all around the edges, and now I'm just going to line this up. Try to get it in there. And it does come with the proper hardware as well. Came with 4 bolts and lock nuts with lock washers. And it is the same size, 13 millimeter. So we're going to just put that in there. Okay, so I put 2 bolts in, one on either sides, opposite ends here, just to keep it in place for now, to make sure that I got that ball joint hooked up. That is crazy, actually. Let me pull out that tape measure. Okay. So it was 4 inches, roughly, with the other one. So first to second, let's see how it goes. Oh, wow. Actually cut out about 1 inch. It's about 3 inches. So that's about a whole inch chopped off. That is crazy, like how short that is. That is the travel between like where first and second is to where fifth and sixth is, with the middle being right there. That, wow, that's crazy. Dang, I think just went into like third. That's third right there, no problem. So if you're in second and you're just racing, whatever, I guess, you just push it forward and it's already in third. Yeah, that's crazy. So there's, I mean, you would have to like punch it this way to actually go back into first. And even with it plugged in, it died on me. Alright, so now I'm going to get this all put back together, get the console put back on, as well as the centerpiece of the console as well. So I'm going to put this all back together. We're going to bundle it up, make sure everything's nice, tight, needs to be the way it is. I'm going to take this thing for a test run. We'll see how this thing works out. Don't forget the old shift boot there. So be sure to take it off. It's going to be 2 13 millimeter bolts for this. And just apply it right over like you would normally. And just put those 7 millimeter bolts back in place. All right, there's 7 bolts. 7 millimeter bolts that hold down the boot. So do not forget that. Otherwise, you're probably going to have a lot of heat rushing up into your cabin. Here she is, all put back together. Those 2 10 millimeter down there, 2 7 there. Plug in my cigarette lighter. And just cap that off. Look at this. Before, with the original shifter on it, with the shift boot all the way up as high as it can go, it's not even as high as it can go here. The way it's sat, there'd probably be about that much exposed of the shaft. Now it's all totally covered up. I was thinking on painting this red, But now that I see that the boot just covers the whole thing, no big deal. Because I thought it would be exposed, and I thought, you know, instead of having this regular metal surface showing, that I would just sand it down, prime it, paint it, and then throw a clear over it. But that's not necessary. So that came out pretty good. I mean, this is crazy. Like, it might look kind of bad in the video of how far I'm going, but it was way worse. And you saw that I went ahead and measured that as well. So from 4 inches to 3 inches, that is phenomenal. I can't wait to take this thing for a spin. So there it is, all bundled up, ready to go. Okay, here we go. Right into reverse. See how this thing feels. Very tight. Maybe needs to be worn in a little. What a significant difference. You feel it already. Just like that. Just like that. Shifts are a lot quicker, a lot shorter. I save it all the time. I don't want to go too crazy. I am in a residential area. Get some real highway usage out of this. That's pretty much how you do it. That's it. It's done. It's in. Feels great. Let's try that second to third situation here. You're tooling along. Just like that. That is so quick. So smooth too. It's a little notchy, but I guess that's the way T56 Magnum transmissions are. This is great. I'm loving it. Anyway, this is it. Got it all put together. I'm loving this. It's well worth the purchase. Got it from MGW's website. It's about $216, I believe, with the cost of shipping, or $228, something of that nature. But it's actually the cheapest shifter that they have. So the cheapest shifter that they have on their website is for the F-body itself. So if you look at the other ones, Mustang, newer Camaros, and they're going to be a lot more than this. So if you got a manual F-body, anywhere 93 to 02, I highly recommend this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun to do this. The rewards were benefiting. And this is Chemical Sport, out.